Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, The Geek Takeover, coming at you with another Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episode 5, Raw Reaction. And oh my god, guys, if last week's episode was action-packed and one of the best action episodes that we've seen, this might have been one of the most suspenseful, story-felt, heartbreaking, all wrapped in one. Like, I don't even know where to begin with my Raw reaction. I guess just start with the easy part, which is Matt and Dex dragging each other across New York, going from the gym, the boxing gym, to a restaurant, I assume a restaurant, through a boiler room, into the church, just to get back to Frank's storage, whatever, his base, whatever, his home, whatever you want to call it. They had great interaction. They're so good together. They mesh so well. Wilson really was giving me the vibes that, oh, he's gonna die, which is crazy because he fell off of a 4-story building and survived, which he brought up, but there's no explanation on how he survived. But bleeding out is gonna kill him. Well, I say kill him. Charlie Cox is just such a phenomenal actor in this role. He makes you believe that he is this persona. He is Matt Murdock. He's Daredevil. Everything that they do, everything they touch just seems to turn to gold. And, hey, you know what? There is a reference of Claire. Rosario Dawson. Everybody's being brought back. Mike Coulter literally said, hey guys, we're here official. We need her back. We need Colleen and we need Misty. Why are these three still not here? Especially Claire, with how often they need to get fixed. But maybe she's coming soon. Who knows? So, yeah, I mean, that pretty much does Matt, or Daredevil and Bullseye. Let's transition to the next phase of the story, which is Matt and Foggy, with which we see the return of Eldon Henson. And it was very nice seeing them back together. It was fun to see them do some law in this. We never really get to see Matt really do law anymore. So it was nice to kind of see that. It was great that during the flashbacks that Eldon kind of was the main focus, because I'm sure this is probably going to be his last role, or his last performance maybe as Foggy, which will probably play into some stuff later. It was an interesting story. The only things that I really took out of it was the fact that Wesley came back, the original actor, and turns out the guy that Matt and Foggy were representing was under Kingpin's mob, and he was trying to basically not be killed by the Kingpin crew. Ultimately, Wesley introduces Fisk to Buck by hiring Buck to kill the crook. You know, I can't remember his name. Not Connor. Connor was the brother. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just watched it. I have so many thoughts going through my head. Anyways, so there's not really much there. It was kind of neat to see them work together again. I don't know why they killed Foggy in the first place. I wish we could have seen more of his exploration, but it is what it is. Sticking with the flashbacks, we have scenes of Fisk and Vanessa. Mainly Vanessa, like how she was the art gallery, the white painting. We see leading up to the night of their first meeting, which is very cool because it takes you back to season 1. I'm going to kind of save on the rest of their story because if you know, you know. Anyways, Daniel and Buck go on their own adventure. They're just really fun together. I think Daniel is such an his actor is so good. His performance is so well. I love it so much. Buck, he is such an interesting character that I'm very fascinated to see where he goes. He leads Daniel all the way to Albany, making Daniel think that he's about to get whacked, which is funny considering the fact that his dad was in The Sopranos. So I think that's kind of funny. Maybe he went to his dad and was like, hey, Dad, how can I give this portrayal off? Anyways, turns out he was there to have him bury a body, basically. Speaking of Daniel, he meets with BB in the hospital while Vanessa is being treated. And he tells BB, she's in critical condition. This is the hospital we're in. And she later goes and supposedly leaks it to the press. Obviously, she probably did it because we know that she's a good girl. Pause. That came out weird. A good guy. A good person. Anyways, the news somehow finds out. He thinks it was her. That makes him think that... I think Daniel was thinking that maybe Buck thinks that he's the leak, but now he's starting to slowly think that BB's the leak. Screws are turning. Daniel's time, I think, is running out. Speaking of time running out, Fisk and Vanessa. Now, I'm going to start this off by saying, as a married man, I could almost understand where Fisk is coming from as far as being by his wife's side, being overjoyed when she goes through surgery, being concerned about her, all this other stuff. I can relate to that, being a married man myself. Their story, I think ultimately she wakes up from her surgery. And at first, she seems like she maybe has short-term memory loss or some kind of amnesia, because when Fisk is yelling at the nurse, she's like, I've never seen you this angry before. She asks for pineapple juice, not remembering that she doesn't like pineapple juice. I'm thinking, oh, maybe she doesn't remember. Maybe she's going to go back to like season 1 of Vanessa, where she's very clueless but in love with Fisk. Well, maybe not very clueless, but like she doesn't know that he's the kingpin. But little did we know, they almost kill her at the end of episode 4, just for her to have surgery. I assumed she was going to stay in a coma. She wakes up just for them to at least flatline her. She asked Wilson to tell her a story. She wants to know about their first time they met. He tells a story, and then she immediately asks again to tell him a story. Again, going back to, she has amnesia or short-term memory. No, I believe, if I'm going to take a guess, she maybe had a brain aneurysm, or maybe something wasn't... I don't know. I'm going to go with an aneurysm if I had to be a doctor for a second. Ultimately, she starts spazzing out. Fisk yells for doctors. We hear the flatline. We see Fisk crashing out. Vincent... Such a portrayal of grief and anger and sorrow, and I can't fucking wait for next week. Oh my god, this man is gonna go on a fucking tear. And thanks to Mike Coulter, we know, spoiler alert for season 3, most likely Kingpin and Matt are going to end up in prison somehow, maybe damage control. That could be a possibility. But either way, they're going to end up behind bars, I believe. And I can't wait to see how we get there. The road to this is going to be so incredible. And I wish I could remember Vanessa's actress's name, and I wish I could even pronounce it correctly if I did, because I know, I believe it's Israeli. I think she did such a beautiful job. I still am holding out hope that maybe even though she flatlined, maybe they bring her, maybe they are able to resuscitate her, barely, because I really don't want to see their dynamic go away. I think she's a very pivotal point to Fisk's character, but at the same time, Foggy's a pivotal point to Matt's character. So if this is the last time that we see her and Eldon in their respective roles, I'm glad that they were kind of the focal points. It was a slower episode than what we were used to, and it was just beautifully done. My only complaint, if this is goodbye, is I wish we would have seen their time during the blip. Did Fisk get blipped? Did she get blipped? What was New York like during the blip for them? I just wish that may have been answered. But yeah, I mean, that really honestly does it. I don't just like last week, I'm itching for episode 6 now. Like I wanna click my remote and hit episode 6 right now. But unfortunately, we have to wait another week. Why do you do this to us, Marvel? Why? But anyways, with that being said, guys, I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like the video, comment, share, and subscribe with your friends for more content. You know, next week we got, 6, 7, 8, whatever, and then we have the Punisher special, Spider-Man, Mandalorian, Supergirl, all this other exciting stuff coming up soon. You guys could also go follow me on TikTok. It'll be Freeman Steven 24. If that's not the name, I will correct that. But, I'm going to start posting more on TikToks. I've done CinemaCon Day 1 recaps. By the time that this is up, I will also have a CinemaCon Day 2 recap. And I just have some other fun stuff on there. So if you guys can go support me there, I would greatly appreciate it. But until next time, this has been the Geek Takeover, repping the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's go, Lakers. And I will be catching you guys in the next video.